everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. So today's video is going to be how to self-isolate, things to do in self-isolate. If you don't know, and I'm pretty sure that you will, there's been a new lady who has entered our lives. Her name is Corona, and she has come with an impact. I'm not going to talk too much about like how, not how I'm dealing with it, but like how I feel and how it's affected me really, because I'm going to save that for another video. It's not going to be just corona based, don't you worry. But I thought this video would be really handy because at first I was struggling with like what I'm going to do and stuff. So I thought this video would be quite helpful with what's going on, and yeah, I just hope that whoever's watching this, that you are perfectly fine and your family and that will stay like that, because it is such a bad like thing what's happening. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into the video. Firstly, how bloody cute is my phone case? This is from Primark and it was £4, no, £3. So the first thing I put down, which is obviously typical if you have got any work to do, so obviously there's going to be different age ranges from if you're in the beginning of secondary school, if you're a year 11 you've just got your predicted grades, but if you're in sixth form, college, or obviously if you're an adult and you work from home, then any work, it is going to be harder to do at home. But just make sure you haven't got your phone near you, get the work done, and just don't think of this as like a holiday. If you've got work to do while your brain is still like switched on, do the work now, because if you leave it too late you will regret it. I know it's not the funnest idea to do, but it has to be done. So the next thing to do is work out. Not only does this keep you in shape, but it also will take around an hour depending on what you do out of your day, and also it's good for you. Even if you do go gym, then obviously you can do exactly the same without weights and stuff at home. Next thing is watch YouTube, or even start your own YouTube. So I remember like a while ago somebody like swiped up to one of my stories and was like, oh, how did you start a YouTube channel, and like should I do it, will people like give me backlash and all this, and I actually was just thinking like, do it. Because I remember I wanted to start YouTube from like year 6, even probably before that, and I never did because I was so scared. I made 3 channels and on one of them somebody found it who I knew. Straight off that I deleted all the videos. I literally had like 9 subscribers, and yeah, it just scared me. It is scary, I'm not going to make out it's not, but I don't regret obviously starting this channel, and it gives me something to do. So what if it don't go anywhere? At least as long as you're enjoying it. If it stresses you out, then don't do it obviously, because it is a lot to take on. You've got to film, you've got to edit, and editing, I know it does take a long ass time. People think that it's so easy, but trust me, the Dojo Cat video took me like so many hours and it got something like 30 views. Rip. I literally just say just film, because you don't have to, nobody's telling you what you can and can't film, and it is fun. I know somebody watching this has gone shopping, come home and pretended that they're doing a haul, because before I started YouTube I 100% did that. Or even when you're doing your makeup, you just want to like pretend you're actually talking to a camera, because I've been there. The next thing is play board games with your family, because just think of this as like a time to actually spend time with your family. It's only March. If you're in school, summer holidays don't start till middle of July. And if you live with a family of like, you've got brothers and sisters, this is like a perfect opportunity to play games with them. And yeah, even though it's just going to be me and my mum, I probably will still be like, do you want to have a board game night? And who doesn't love a board game? I don't know anybody who don't. The next few things are kind of like distraction based, or really like relax it. The first one is start a scrapbook. I love doing this. I've had my scrapbook, which looks like this. I've had this since 2017, and do I give you a little sneak peek? The funniest thing is half of these people I'm not even friends with anymore. But I still keep it because memories. I'll show you this page because it's cute. So for example, I'm sure Rosa won't mind, this is a page of when me and Rosa went to Melon, and yeah, I just think it's so cute. My scrapbook has got black pages because I just think it gives like a more nicer effect than like plain white pages. This was like when I went to go see Waitress and I met Ali Ash and Diane. my heart. And honestly, I use free prints and I've used it ever since I made my scrapbook. And what I actually do is I use Instasize to like smaller, like make my pictures smaller so they can fit into my actual scrapbook, because most pictures you print out are like 6x4 and they're like the size of this, and I'd only be able to fit like 2 pages on. Then the next thing to do is read. So many people, like, I feel like teenagers don't do much of, but like as you grow older you start doing it again. I used to be such a bookworm when I was in primary school. My nan loved reading and I used to live with my nan for a bit, so like that's where I got my reading love for. But yeah, I actually do like reading. I just never have the time because I'm always like doing work or something, and then when it gets going to bed I'm too tired. Whereas now, as we've got so long off and in my house, if I'm ever stressed I do tend to like read, because if you're watching something sometimes it can have like a sad story or whatever, and if you're in a bad mood already you don't need that. So the other day when I found out about self-isolating, I was in Tesco, not the best place to be, but I picked up 2 books. So this one's called The Beekeeper of, how the hell do you say that, Aleppo? It's about Nuri's beekeeper. His wife is an artist. They live happily in a beautiful Syrian city until they are forced to flee, and it's basically a story about them fleeing. And then this one is called No One Home, and this is about one night 9 neighbours gather for a dinner party. By the next morning they have disappeared without a trace. No bodies, no evidence and no clues. So this is obviously like a mystery one. And then the last book I have got, which I still haven't read and I've had for bloody ages, but it's The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and it's basically about a man, I think, it literally says on the back but I can't be asked to read it, a man who I think is doing the tattoos of the people obviously in Auschwitz, and then I think he falls in love with one of the, like, what are they called? Congrats? No, prisoners? Like, I don't know. I still want to read that. That is like one of the best-selling books. I still haven't read it. The next thing to do is colouring. I went through a phase. I used to love colouring. Like, my book has literally fallen apart because of how much I use this. I think I used to do this a lot when I lived with my nan. So as you can see, I done that. I done these birds, this, which I remember took bloody ages. I done that, which clearly started that but gave up. Oh yeah, this is one of my favourites as well. Like, but yeah, these are actually obviously adult colouring books. You get them from like WH Smith, but this one is called Relax with Art and it was only £3, and it's so good to help with obviously your anxiety. It keeps you concentrated, and yeah, it just says colouring with adults, so it is an adult colouring book. And a fun fact about me, I actually love Doctor Who. Some people don't know that, and my sad ass got a Doctor Who colouring book. Then the next thing, which I don't actually know what you'd call this, but it's one of these, and I don't know if you've ever seen these if you was a kid, but basically you get given a picture and you have to scrape it off. I don't know if I've done this one. So basically it looks like that, and then once you start scraping it off it looks like that, and you can get a silver one, so obviously this one's a silver one, or you can get a rainbow one, which I've had before. And just like colouring, these are very good at like releasing your anxiety. If you're a creative person, then obviously you'll enjoy stuff like this. But yeah, like, this is giving me a huge throwback because obviously I used to do this years ago. If you are a girl or a boy who likes doing makeup, definitely not me today, then take this time to play around with makeup. Obviously this is not a look I would normally do. I would never normally do clouds on my eyes, but here we are. Recently I made a makeup page. I am not plugging it. I made a makeup page not long ago, so if you want to go check it out, then not going to stop you. Go ahead, go follow. And considering with the time has come around, I have got plenty of time on my hands to do loads of looks which I won't have time to do. Play around with makeup, see what makeup I actually love and I've like put down to the side, test new makeup. And if you're a boy, you're probably sitting there like, what the hell, it's just makeup. But makeup also is very therapeutic. The next thing, which is similar to like the board games with your family, is to bake, because not only is it therapeutic, it's also very tasty. And I actually love baking. I definitely don't do it enough, but I'm actually a really good really good baker. Yeah, I'm actually a really good baker. The other day me and my mum picked up loads of like stuff, so for Yorkshire puddings, for cupcakes, gingerbread, brownie, so, and like I said, I'm going to make a banana bread. So yeah, we're definitely going to be occupied making stuff. And then once you've baked, put a film on and then have a little cute film night whilst eating what you've baked. I will be doing a bake with me, so keep tuned for that. The next thing, which is obviously quite obvious, is to FaceTime. I obviously will be FaceTiming my boyfriend a hell of a lot. It's better than a phone call because you can actually see their face. Duh. Just make sure you keep up with your family, because if you're feeling lonely, then they're definitely feeling lonely. So the last thing, which I think is the most obvious, is to watch Netflix or any other channel you like. I'm about to tell you what ones I recommend, but yeah, Netflix, duh, like that's one of the things which pop into your head when you're bored. Now, I've done a few recommendations and it's depending on if you feel a bit like anxious or whatever. My TV show slash film type is mostly action. I'm such a girly girl, so people expect me to watch like Clueless and Gossip Girl. But no, I love an action film. Like, give me an action film, 100%, I'll watch it. You don't need to pay me. Pay me if you want. So the first one is called You Cannot Hide, and I have fully watched this. It's like 10 episodes long, and it's actually Spanish. And when I was watching it, I was thinking, why is it not matching up with their lips? It turns out they're talking in Spanish, and obviously it was translated in English. But it's basically about this mother and daughter, and they have to flee Mexico, and then the daughter gets kidnapped, and it's basically one big chase on trying to get the daughter. And there's like loads of like inside stories with like the mum's boyfriend she's seeing and the daughter's best friend, like it entwines with each other. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for you obviously, but yeah, if you like those kind of TV shows, then definitely watch You Cannot Hide. Then the next one is Z Nation. I was watching with my boyfriend and he gets bored of TV shows so easily, so we haven't actually finished it, and we're not finished it together anytime soon. So I'm just gonna go and watch the end. But basically it's about a zombie program, so if you like zombie related stuff or you're just interested, then definitely watch Z Nation. Z Nation is about the start of the zombie apocalypse, and this doctor has a vaccine, so she injects loads of like inmates, and then one of them survives. And then basically it's about this big group who travels, that man who's called Murphy, across the world to try find the actual hospital to get the vaccine out. And obviously, like any zombie program, of course there's going to be loads of stops and trouble and stuff. So yeah, definitely watch it, because it's a bit of comedy. It's not like the over-the-top comedy where you're just watching it and cringing. Like, it's generally funny. This is a film, so Den of Thieves. I've watched this twice. I watched it with my boyfriend the other day. It's basically about this group of men who want to hijack a bank, well, rob a bank and take loads of money. That's literally it. The Stranger. Everybody is talking about The Stranger. I was a tiniest bit late to the bandwagon, and I've obviously now watched it. I think there's 8 episodes, 8 or 10. I think there's 8. And bloody hell, if you've watched The Stranger, then you know. Oh. Basically, I haven't even told you about, it's basically about The Stranger, and she knows everything about certain people, and they get targeted and they get blackmailed, and all she wants is a bit of a dollar. And there's one story which is of a family. The wife goes missing, and it's basically about like who killed the wife. You don't know. It's one of those guessing games where you're like, oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. And then there's other stories on the outside. I think her name's Sheila, but somebody from Benidorm, I forgot her name, I sound like, ooh. But she's in it, and she is bloody amazing. And I just tell you, the ending is shocking. Then there's 2 things which I haven't actually watched. One's called Salt, which I've never actually seen before. I haven't got around to watching it yet, but I have added it to my list because it is definitely one of my kind of films. So it's about, accused of being a Russian spy, CIA agent Evelyn Salt goes on the run using every tactic she knows to elude her pursuers and clear her name. And it's got Angelina Jolie as the main character, so that just tells you it's going to be a good film in itself. Then there is The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. I have only like watched 2 episodes, and it's basically about this documentary of this little boy who was abused by his parents, and it's basically like the story, them like penalising kind of the social workers and people around them. It's really interesting. If you like documentaries, then this is one to definitely add to your list. And then the last thing, which is actually on Channel 4, which I've recently watched, is called Deadwood. It has got one of my favourite actors in, David Tennant, and it's basically about two couples and they're best friends, and there's a fire and the dad survives and the three kids and the mum dies, and it has loads of twists. It's literally 4 episodes and they're like 45 minutes long, so you could easily binge watch that in a day. But once again, David Tennant acting is so good, and I'm not going to tell any more because it will just spoil it, but it is bloody good. Then the next few recommendations are not action, because obviously not everyone likes action, and if you want something to like take your mind off things and to be more like uplifting, then definitely watch these. The first one is Benidorm, and if you don't know what Benidorm is, where the hell have you been? It's basically a comedy, and there's like 10 series, so you'll have a lot to watch, and it's about loads of different like families to friends, and it's basically a sitcom. So if you like sitcoms, then definitely watch Benidorm. Then the next thing is The Brothers Grimsby, which is a film. It's so jokes. Basically it's about these two brothers. One of them is like an assassin, and then the other one grew up in like somewhere in London, so he's a proper Londoner. They both was getting adopted, they both got split up, and then as they get older they find each other, and it's honestly so funny. Like I said earlier, I don't like comedy, but this film generally made me laugh. And then the next two things are on Channel 4. So the first one is Gogglebox. It's basically, if you don't know what it is as well, it's a bunch of people watching TV and they get filmed for it, but the outmarks they come out with is honestly so joke. So that is everything I am going to say. Like I said, I hope you all are well, and if you ever want to DM me, then you can, and my Instagram and social medias will be down below or on the screen, or whatever fancy shiz I do. But yeah, if you want me to do any videos that you fancy, then comment them down below, because I'm always up for video ideas. I am going to be trying to do loads of content, considering I've got so much time on my hands. But yeah, definitely go check out my socials, subscribe if you're new, thumbs up this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.